So one of the things that Dr. Tao wants me to talk about is where the web is going. So a couple things I want to talk about. The first one is, I think the obvious one is the web gets older. It's gone from a system which predominantly pushes content at people to one that most of the content is now being generated by the users who are using the websites. And one of the features that allows us web developers and web designers to really understand how people are using the websites is something called analytics. And this is an example of Google Analytics, which is a free service that Google provides that we use for a number of years at the Spy Museum. And what it allowed us to do is to see how exactly people were using the website. So when it came time to redesign the website, we could actually go back to the clients and say, you know that button up there that you think is so important? Well, no one's really clicking on it, okay? We don't need to put it way up on top where it's the most important thing. And this thing that you don't think is that important, well, people have been clicking on this a lot. Okay? So that should be featured more predominantly. We also can learn through analytics what types of browsers people are using. So when we discover that this design, for example, doesn't work that well in Internet Explorer, we can justify making a few changes because most of the users at this point were using Firefox and later Chrome and Safari. Facebook. How many of you still use Facebook? Okay. How many of you use MySpace? Okay, that's a big surprise. Guess who's recently invested a lot of money in MySpace? Justin Timberlake, right. And they're hoping that his celebrity power and ideas and connection to people under 30 is going to help bring MySpace back. We can now look at the history of the web and know that not a single website that has become galactic, and all present, and then kind of lost its shine, not a single one of those has come back. So if I were you, I would not bet much money on MySpace becoming what it used to be. Anyone think Justin Timberlake can do it? No? Okay. Okay. So the coolest thing about the web is HTML5 and CSS3, which is allowing web designers and developers to do things with type, do things with animation that we haven't been able to do in the past without using things like Flash, which were not really that user-friendly or ADA compliant. So HTML5 is really cool. And of course, everything that we're doing in the web design program is based on the most recent standards, including HTML5. This week, Lindsay, did you go to the Adobe thing? So Lindsay and a couple other people from CSU and me were at Adobe's presentation Monday in San Francisco on the next big thing. The next big thing is called Edge. And if you go to html.adobe.com, you can see a whole suite of tools that are being introduced as we speak that are really going to take HTML5 and push it in ways that we didn't think possible. And if you're into typography like I am, it's really, really exciting because we're going to be able to use much better type fonts and be able to do things with them that we've never been able to do before, so that's pretty cool. So while all these new tools are coming out, the biggest trend that I see, and we talk about this in the web design class a lot, is the majority of websites, large websites right now, are being produced in content management systems like our own CSUMB site. This is built in Drupal. And the problem with this is that unless a designer is involved in the process, someone who's able to kind of take it beyond that really boring template that most CMS systems provide, you get websites that all look the same. And I think that's the trend that we're seeing right now, is that most websites look a lot alike. So we really need some good designers out there to take these content management systems and put a designer's hand in them. Okay, so my advice. This is my 30th year teaching. So I think I know a few things. My first advice would be follow your passion. If you are not really passionate about what you're studying right now, find something else. Close your ears, Dr. Tom. If you are not really into what you're studying, find something that you are. And hopefully you can take that passion out into the professional world and apply it and get paid really well for what you love doing. Yes, you should work hard, but just as important as working hard, you should play often and play hard. Okay? And play in something that has nothing to do with what your work is about. I think it's really important. Second bit of advice, take a nutrition class while you're here. Okay? Why is that funny? I took a nutrition class in college, and it was probably the one class that I still use every day. There were lots of classes that I took in college that I've never even thought about since then. But this one class really has helped improve my life. Okay? Third advice, listen to National Public Radio. It will make you smarter. It will. Fourth? Yes?
What station is that on?
You want to be smarter, don't you? Good, okay. CSUMB has its own NPR station called Kazoo, 90.3. That was the test, right, to see if I actually listened to it? Okay. Next bit of advice is get off campus and explore this area, especially if you're not from around here. We are blessed to live in one of the most beautiful places on the planet, and you should take advantage of that. And my last bit of advice is to think outside the box, especially the ITCD box. Take as many classes as you can that don't have CST in front of them. Okay. Take advantage of college while you're here. Learn as much as you can. Don't just focus on one thing. Any questions? So I have uploaded the new CDILP to the ITCD website last night. So if you all can access this,